All right, this is a bit of a bonus module. So, welcome back to the Mind Under Pressure. This module, I I don't know. I know this stuff so well that sometimes I forget. And I was like, I want to add this so badly because this will launch you forward. When you start to understand like working with your mind and actually breaking stuff down, oh my gosh, guys, there's going to be no resistance in your performance. And I'm very excited about that. So we're slipping this call in. If I said like next time we're going to skip ahead if you really want to, but honestly, I would do this call because this is the one that like you understand what to do. You get empowered about your mind. And here's everything. This is a foundation of the work I do with athletes. When it's not even about like calming your mind down, you can actively use your mind for better performance, not just through positive thinking or visualization. Like you can actually structure your mind and work with it so that your best performance is always at your fingertips. Like your mind will push you, it will give you guidance. You can set it. For example, some of the hockey players I've worked with, I was like, you need to set it to default to shoot. Like, this is what you're going to do unless you get a nudge, unless you get an impulse to pass. So, like, now you're working with something bigger than yourself. Okay. I'm always going to take the shot unless I just feel like I got to pass it to the guy at the point. Like, you're asking for those cues now. You're asking for those nudges, right? If I need to shoot, I want to hear the word shoot. There was a Paralympian I worked with, and she would drop her confidence. She would start to play small when her coach started talking in a really powerful way. And let's be honest, some coaches are really powerful and they come with a lot of energy. And so you just go, okay, okay, okay. When you work with your mind, you can structure it. You can ask it, like, give me this impulse so that I don't play small. Give me this impulse so that I don't miss an opportunity. Give me this impulse so that I keep my butt in gear and myself in check. I do it all the time. I'm like, don't let me skip this run. Don't let me skip this workout. Like, this is happening. Make sure I'm up. Make sure I get out of bed. You can do it. All it takes is some self-awareness. So we're going to break down some thoughts or what you're listening to. Okay. I got all my notes here. This is kind of the nudges and the impulses. So we've talked about how your mind will like run that laundry list of concerns it has, just so you're aware, just so you know. Hey, just helping you out, buddy. I want you to know I've got some fears and concerns. Okay, that's cool. It will distract you. Okay, cool. We've acknowledged that. But then your visualization, and then there's those nudges and those impulses. There's those little whispers, and I did mention like they almost feel whole and complete in themselves. It's like, oh yeah, you have a dentist appointment tomorrow. Don't forget your court shoes. Like you're running out the door and you're just like, my shoes. Like that thought drops in so differently than I wonder what my coach is thinking. I wonder who's going to be at the game. Oh my goodness, right? They feel very different if you slow down and actually go, let's stay present with that thought for like 1 or 2 seconds longer. Yeah, court shoes. That was it. We're done. That was a whole thought. That was an entire entity. We're good. But that I wonder what the coach is going to think. I wonder if I'm going to make this team. I wonder, like replaying yesterday's mistake or what you could have done better if you're the critic or the perfectionist, right? Like all of that feels very different. There's an undercurrent to that that is just dragging you kind of deeper and deeper. So if you stay present with the thought, you can also understand by how it feels what it is. Okay. So we're going to go through some things because I want you to really get a handle on your thoughts and like understand what they are, why they're here, and what to do with them. So, the thoughts that feel like nothing are my favorite. Sometimes I remember when I first started, they would just like slip by so fast. I'd be driving and I'd be like, wait, what was that thought? You can ask for anything you want. So, honestly, when I started, I was really big into the universe. I do believe in God, but it's whatever you resonate with. Okay? And I would be like, all right, universe, bring that thought back because I missed it. I don't even remember it. It was so fast. It was so complete. I was just like, done. Bring it back. And I would stay relaxed. And I'd just be like, what was that? And then it would slowly come back to me. Okay, so you can ask for anything. Just be aware of what you need. Ask for it. If you don't ask, you don't get. So when a thought comes, notice the direction it's taking you. Is this taking you deeper, heavier into worry? Is this taking you further into better performance? Is it helping you? And that could be like, take a break. It could be like, try this. Like, I love it when athletes tell me, like, I just got the impulse to like, I wanna see out of 100 golf shots, how many I can get within 6 feet of the hole. Like 100 chips, how many can I get within 6 feet of the hole? Okay, follow that. Do that. You're like, well, it's not part of my training. No, it came to you. Do it, right? It's a hockey player who's like, man, I just feel like I want to practice shooting from my knees. And that sounds crazy. Why would you ever practice that as a skill? It's like, oh, I just want to. And then sure enough, in the next game, they're like, got knocked down, still scored from my knees. Weirdly, because I practiced that. It's those kinds of things that almost don't make sense. You're like, but it came to you. And it wasn't necessarily that like, Eureka, here's the path forward, angels are singing, fireworks are going off, there's a band playing, there's banners. It wasn't that loud moment. And I think a lot of people, when they start to work with their intuition and their instincts and these impulses, they're kind of expecting to be struck by lightning. Like it should be big, it should be noticeable, it should be obvious. I'm here to tell you, you probably don't want to be struck by lightning 100 times a day. Probably not. Okay. That would knock you on your butt. But when you start to notice that these are just subtle, like nudge, how about this? Ooh, that. Ooh, kind of like that idea. This seems different. This seems fun. Maybe there's a little sparkle to it. Those kinds of things that seem everyday, trivial, they're actually the magic. So when was the last time you had an idea that you were like, "Ah, I kind of want to do this, and then you discounted it, you disregarded it because you're like, that's silly, it doesn't make sense. It's try it. These thoughts are leading you somewhere. And like I've said, it's it might not be that solves everything, but it will take you to the next step. When you follow the impulse, the road rises to meet you. So you got to go with it. You got to be the one to move. So think about, the last impulse or idea you got where you're like, I just want to do this. Oh gosh, no, that won't be cool if I do that. Try it. Try it. You get to own your journey. You get to decide. And honestly, the best part when you get to that quote unquote proverbial finish line, when you make it to the level you want and you dominate the game and you know in your very soul that like you've done what you can, that is everything. But it's who you've become in the process. Like when you win a championship is temporary, right? You have the trophy for a finite amount of time. Who you've become lasts forever. It's that trust you develop within yourself. It's that ability to push yourself to follow the impulses and go, look what I did, look what I created. And it was, I guarantee you, more magical than you thought it would possibly be. Like it truly, truly is. So notice the direction your thoughts are taking you. Like notice the direction that impulse is taking you, and that will help you discern, is this one that I really want to follow? Is this a nudge or an impulse, or is this just regurgitating of fear? Okay. Notice the repetition. And this is my favorite way because I don't ever want you to just move based on blind faith. Like this is a real thing. There's a roadmap to it, there's a language to it, and everyone's is slightly different. But there are ways that you can play with it. There are ways that you can test it to be sure. So, what I mean by that is repetition. Does it come back to you? If you set it down and go, okay, I've acknowledged that. I get the impulse to practice shooting from my knees, or I get the idea to message a coach or a scout, or I feel like I want to, take 100 chip shots and see if I can get it within 6 feet of the hole. I want to run this play. I know it's crazy, but I feel like I want to run this play. Set it down and see if it comes back to you without you trying. Because you'll notice there's a difference between you pining for something, being like, I want, I wish, if it could just work. How can I make it work, right? That's more of a trying energy. But if you set it down and go, we're just going to see what happens. Does it come back to me? Does it nudge me again? Does it land the same? Is it like, I should do this? Even if it's something that you're like, ooh, that makes me a little uncomfortable. And the best story I have for this is not a sports related one, but it involves an ex of mine. We're going to get real personal and vulnerable here. It was 10 months after we had broken up, and I was in a place that he had always dreamt of going. And it was like, you should really message him. And I was like, I don't think I want to reach out to him. I think we're good. And again, just in saying that, just in being like, no, I don't think so, it felt wrong. It felt really icky. I was like, okay, cool. So I probably should. But again, I'm gonna test it. I'm gonna be sure. So I was like, I'm gonna put that down. I'm gonna park it. We're not gonna think about it. We're gonna focus on being here in the moment. It's beautiful. It was so beautiful. And sure enough, 10 minutes later, I'm driving and I've got some great tunes on the radio and I'm just vibing. And it was like, message him. Where did that thought come from? But it came again. So, okay, next time I stop, I will message him. And long story short, it was so incredibly well received that I had done that. Because, of course, the fear is, what's he going to think? Does he even want to hear from me? And the beautiful thing is we got to have a conversation that we didn't have when we were together, and it brought a lot of closure to both of us. So, not a sports example, but a really good example of like, I'm going to park that. We're going to see if it comes back to me. And if it does, I'll know it's meant for me. Okay, so that's a way that you can work with it. Notice the repetition. Are you reaching for it, or does it just keep coming back even when you're like, I'm not even going to look? Oh, you came again. That's important. Notice things like that. Okay, that's the universe, God trying to get your attention through your thoughts. And again, we can talk about structuring it another time. That's a much bigger conversation. But start to notice this. Emotions. Oh, your thoughts, if you haven't noticed, come with emotions. They come with feelings attached to them. Okay. So there's like, yes, yes, I really want to do that. Yes, I really want more ice time, play time. Yes, I want to go to this game. Whatever it is. There's the no, and no has no resonance. So things that are a yes, like they resonate with you, they light you up, they kind of cause excitement, and like you feel that yes in you. If something's a no, you're not going to have any resonance. You're not going to come back to it. You're just going to be like, that's not for me. But where it gets a little tricky and where you need to have more discernment is it no because it's a fear? So are you not going for this tryout because you're afraid you won't make it, even though it calls to you? There's a part of you that wants it. We got part of you that wants it. We got part of you that's like, oh, but I'm scared. So no, because we feel the heightened energy. But that's just distorted energy. That's fear talking, and you have to be able to sort through that. So you have to be able to recognize there is that pull to it. It's like, oh, that tryout. Yeah, I feel the pull, but now I feel the pull back because there's fear in the way. That's a sign that we got to pick up our confidence and go, okay, well, it calls to me. We're gonna do it. And you can ask questions around these things. So it's like, ugh, should I go to this tryout? It's like, yes. And honestly, if you start talking to your thoughts, they do answer. And you'll start to feel a difference between like, this is a yes, this is a no, this is clarity, this is fear. Genuinely, truly. Like most of my friends and my colleagues, we hardly ever ask each other for advice because we're like, you know. Like you already know. You know. So start asking questions. Should I go to this tryout? What's holding me back? Can I do it? Is there a reason? The more you work with this, the more it gives you. Okay, so notice the yeses, notice the nos, and what your cues are. Okay, this is where it bridges into the body. So if you have really good spatial awareness and body awareness, you're going to get that feeling so much more clearly. And it's going to be different for everyone. For example, for me, a yes, I always feel like a pull in my heart or a warmth in my heart. Like, I want to move forward. I want to move closer to this. A no is really kind of a pull back or a chill. I have taught this to hundreds and hundreds of people. Some of them get a yes by tingles in their cheeks, like just under their eyes. Some get tingles down their arms. Some it's just a knowing feeling. I can't give you a one size fits all script, but I can give you, again, this would be like a whole other program where we walk through exercises and we test this. So you get to know what a yes is for you. You get to know what a no is for you. And again, it's something you can structure. That's not loud enough. I'm missing the signal. Turn it up. That's too loud. It feels like I'm being kicked in the gut. Turn it down. So, yeah, because some people really do feel it primarily in the gut, but it's part of all the sensations we go through. So, your thoughts will come with sensations. Pay attention. The physical sensation, the emotion. And discern between your no's and yes, but I'm scared. And it's okay to be scared. We are never going to make it through this entire life without experiencing fear. It's not about not having fear. It's about going, I'm scared right now. How am I going to lead myself? How am I going to navigate this? I'm going to ask for help. I'm going to double down on my identity. I'm going to bounce forward, whatever it is. Okay. So give yourself permission to feel scared and still figure it out because I promise you can. All right. Urgency is kind of the last thing that I want to talk about here. There are thoughts that come almost like FOMO, like that fear of missing out. It's like that panic. Oh my gosh, I have to, but if I don't, the world will collapse. That is usually that, like, that's not an impulse. That is not an impulse, not that like urgent one. Impulses that are meant for you, those nudges, those whispers, they are steady and they are unwavering, right? When it was like message your ex, I was like, nope, no, I'm going to set that down. But it came back the same way and it did not change. And I was like, what if I don't message him? It was like, no, we're not changing, right? You can beg, plead, negotiate. That impulse will remain unchanged because when it's the universe or when it's God talking to you, it is a direct line and it is, this is it. This is it. This is it. This is it. Pay attention. This is it. Right here. Knocking on your door. Could you let me in? Hello. Not changing. Still do it. Right? It's gonna be so steady. And that should give you a ton of peace of mind because now you know what you're trusting. And like I said, the more you work with that, the more you actually carve out 10, 15, 20 minutes in your day, a few times a week to go, let's explore my thoughts. Let's understand them. Not only are you going to find out where those identity and nervous system gaps are, you're going to build what you are trusting, and that makes you unstoppable. Truly, it does because you can get out ahead of things faster than anyone. Okay, so I hope you've really enjoyed this module. This is a big one, but it's only big if you take the time to do the work. Let me know comments and questions. I do respond. I get the notifications. I will answer your questions. I will celebrate your wins. I will celebrate whatever happens, even if you're like, I didn't get it. Awesome. Ask a question and we'll sort it out. Okay. I'm so excited for you guys to have this module. I cannot wait to hear and see how it goes, and I cannot wait to see how it changes your game. I'm sending you guys so much love. I will see you in the next module.